we discussed this on Friday, sir. You said the company wasn't going to let me go. You were going to hold me for much longer. You told me you were going to talk to the board of directors and you were going to do something about it. Sir, please. I really need this job, sir, please. This is all I have. What about salaries? It's just running 1 week before the month ends. So can I just at least get paid today and know that okay, that was the end? I need that money desperately. I'm 6 months behind rent. My landlord is literally on my neck. Please. This is what I put on my whole days. No, I have no other place to go. Please. Sir, please. No, sir, please. Sir, we have to do something. Please.
We all started out together. We all had big dreams. They felt like close friends. At the time, I was just 16. Wanted to be YouTubers, make some money. I thought I'll be successful before I turned 19. I didn't want to get old and start enjoying my life when I was 90. Then we all started. The journey had begun. I was grinding really hard, putting in the work. So I couldn't conquer myself. Before I knew, I fell off. I found it hard to be consistent. I couldn't go the distance. I couldn't get back up. Then before I knew it, I was left behind. I looked around. They had all gone. No one by my side. I hadn't made progress, even though I felt like I'd been running for miles. The people I started with had become so successful, I felt unworthy in their sights. I usually tell people I'm supposed to be a millionaire by now. They always laughed at me, thinking I was scrapping, wondering, where's the money? How? It pisses me off. So I stopped talking about it and tried not to frown. My whole life I always felt left behind. But now, I shall get back to the grind.
Okay, so the time is almost 5 p.m. Basically, the day is already over. And as usual, didn't get anything done. It's sad that as usual. I really need to lock in and stuff because I'm so behind on everything. At this point, it feels like I'm drowning. I'm literally just losing all ways around in life in terms of health. Like I don't even work out anymore. In terms of money and wealth and stuff of that nature, absolutely losing my job. I'm literally on the verge of getting fired. In terms of relationship with girls and friends and things of that nature, losing once again. In terms of mental health, getting close to God, things of that nature, also losing again. So I really need to lock in. I really need to take things seriously. I really need to try better.
In January of 2023, I kept seeing this ad for this particular course. So the course was about CPA marketing at the time. So CPA marketing is basically like a fancy word for saying affiliate marketing. It's cost per action marketing. You get paid when you can get somebody to do some form of action. So this action could be either like the person actually buying a product, or maybe the person just signing up with his email or whatever. You're going to eventually get paid. So I kept seeing this ad 2023. And obviously, I didn't buy it. I didn't give 2 fucks. It was time to pay our school fees and all that. So I didn't pay it directly. I spent out of it, and I spent a few weeks trying to gather the money back. Then I was eventually able to gather the money back. Later, towards the end of 2023, I remember I saw that same ad for that course again. So at first I had seen the ad January of 2023. So now this was October, November-ish. I saw that same ad for that course again. And I just thought to myself that if I had actually bought this course at the time, I probably would have made more money. I probably would have been rich by now. If I had bought this course and done what they said I should do in the course, high chance I would have been rich, because January when I saw the course I was broke and I was nah, I don't really need it. And now this is October, November, I'm seeing the course again, I'm still broke. That same period again, my parents had given me school fees to go and pay for my tuition fees and all that. And I thought to myself last time they gave me the same tuition fees to go and pay. For instead of paying, I just spent it on dumb shits. And then I spent a few weeks trying to get the money back. I spent out of it, not the whole thing. I thought to myself that if I just spent that part I spent on dumb shit, if I spent it on the course, I probably would have made that money back plus more. So now that they sent this new one in November, October, November-ish, I can't really remember. Why don't I just do that? So I'm going to take my school fees, I'm going to buy this course. That was the plan. And I'll follow the course, make the money back, pay the school fees, and be rich. Like that was the plan, right? So I did not just buy that course, I actually bought two of them because at the time I also saw another ad for another course that, you know, almost every time I go on the internet I always see it. So I bought the two of them, the school fees. The school fees was 60,000 at the time. Each course was like 25-30k ish for the two of them, like for each one. So I bought the two. On the newer ad that I saw, so the newer course, I mostly went through that one because that one seemed a lot more easier to understand and all that. Basically, it was just affiliate marketing. You like refer people to a product, like once they buy the product, like a digital product, so some form of course or ebook or whatever they were selling on their platform. So once the person buys the product, you know, you get commission back, and that's literally it. Because they were teaching to like promote these things, like you use either you run ads on social media, like, you know, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, Instagram ads, whatever, or you just make organic content like TikTok videos, YouTube videos, Instagram videos talking about, you know, the product or a topic relating to the products and promote it, blah blah blah. End of story. Then the other one, you know, the original one I had been seeing the ad for, now was CPA marketing, so that one was a little different. It's still affiliate marketing, but it's just like this one you're getting paid more for like actions that people end up taking. And that one, it was mostly like forex, crypto based ish. So it's like if the people they sign up for like the forex account or whatever, you get like a commission from it. Or they sign up and they deposit like $100, you get like a kickback or whatever, something like that. So after I had gone through these courses, like, it took me about a few weeks to go through them. I realized that most of the things we were teaching here is like basic make money online, digital marketing stuff that I had known, which is not to say it was like a complete bad thing because I still learned a few new things here and there. But it was kind of a problem because I already knew most of these things. Like someone like me that watches make money online videos like for fun, that was like I already knew a lot of these things they were teaching. You would think that, okay, since I already know what the course is teach, I should just like do what the course say, right? I should just promote the products, make the money and all that. Yeah, that was what I should have done. But my lazy ass was not able to do that. This was one of the times I started to realize that I'm not as good as I am, or you're not as good as you say you are. Ideation and reality are two completely different things. So to keep the long story short, I just wasn't able to like follow through the courses. I wasn't able to make the videos. I wasn't being consistent in posting or learning like the marketing of the product, and I just was not consistent. So I needed another way to make money. And the thing also is like, because this school fees was already late, I was always feeling like anxious, like, oh my god, I need money right here, right now. Like I needed this money yesterday, not even like today. I needed this money yesterday, so like I need this money ASAP. And because of this desperate, like fast trying to just make as much money as possible mindset, like my dumb ass didn't even go and get a job, because obviously if you had gotten a job, like I would have maybe just been able to pay it off. But I was thinking like a job pays salary based, at least in Nigeria, most 90% of them. And it's also going to be minimum wage anyway, because I was still I was still in school, didn't really have any certification or whatever. So I was thinking, before I make minimum wage and it's going to be end of the month, like, it's going to take forever, so I'm not going to get a job. I need to like find a way to make this money ASAP. So the next thing I started doing was selling most of my stuff. So I started selling like my clothes. I also wanted to sell like my phones I was using at the time. My two phones now got bad, so I couldn't even sell them. But I found this PSP, I sold it. So I wanted to sell my bicycle. I didn't really sell anybody that would buy for like a good deal, and a few other things like that I sold. It seems that all these things I was selling, like, it was always small cash I was getting from it. Okay, I sell this thing now, right? Sure, I should just like gather the money and keep it and hold it till it grows. I was still gonna take from the money and spend it on like dumb shit. Also, looking back now, I can't even fully blame myself, because, you know, I mostly was just spending it on food. And, you know, your boy was just trying to survive. But at the same time, a lot of those food was unnecessary, and I could just have fasted or starved or like just skipped the meal. Like especially when I was in that desperate need of money, like food should be the last thing on your mind right now. But I kept spending the money. So this cycle would keep on going for months and months and months on end, and I would just keep getting more panicking. But the only thing that saved me at the time was like, we're in our third year, second semester. So basically it's IT. IT is like internship. So you go to some company and go and work there. So that was also partially another reason why I didn't get a job. So I went to like this institution in our university, like the ICT center they have there. I was basically working there for them. But obviously we're not getting paid anyway. We just go there and spend the whole day there. But so that was the luck I had. So it's like throughout second semester there was no real school for us. So it's like next session after that second semester was over, that's when I would have been really, really fucked. I couldn't make the money. So I was like just in a hurry trying to make it. So eventually I did catch a big break though. So around, I think March or May, it most likely would have been March, I'm not too sure anymore. In the ICT place I was working, right? So one of my bosses was to go to like another school, institution, whatever, to like organize an exam for them. Like he's one of the like ICT staff that usually goes to this school and helps them do like their CBT exam stuff, help them set up all the computers and all that. But he couldn't go, and because in my place or IT place of work, I was like one of the most hardworking people, he actually sent me there, so he told me to go and represent him. The thing wasn't even really that hard. All we had to do was just connect the laptops there to the Wi-Fi and just open Chrome and, you know, type in the like exam URL, and that's it. And just for that little thing, you know, everybody was praising me like, oh wow, he's so tech talented. Yeah, whatever. When I was there, I didn't really expect much because in our IT place normally, you know, we don't get paid or anything. So I just assumed it to be the same thing. I think my boss would give me money after maybe 5k just for like, you know, well done. When I was there, they now gave us a list, like all the staffs that were worked there. They told us to write our names and account numbers. So I remember at the time I was trying to reach out to my boss whether I should write my own or I should write his own, but as usual I wasn't picking my calls, so you know I just wrote my own account number. Yeah. So after the whole work and all that, like my organizer, the woman that was looking after me, she eventually paid me 30,000. So you know, this is like half of the money, right? So I told my boss about it. I was thinking my boss would say I should send him like 20 or 25. But I tried to say I should send him 10. So I sent my boss 10,000 and I ended up keeping 20. Like that was, it was like, you know, I worked for it, so that's my money. So I was really, really happy. 20k, whoa. And this was just like literally, I think 2 days of work, like just a weekend. Like we just went for 1 weekend to go and help them set up computers and whatever. And I tried got paid 20k. And this is the thing that was also pissing me off, because if it was like a normal minimum wage job, I would have to work 30 days, 9 to 5 every single day to make that same money. But I literally made this money like 1 weekend. And the other crazy thing is like the next day, and I received another 20k. Now I had 40k, and I still don't know till today. I still don't know where that money came from, but I'm suspecting it was the place where we wrote our account numbers from. Like they sent the money to me. So now I was boiling 40. Like we just need 20k more. The luck I did now have was I had been saving money. So from the random things I've been selling and, you know, just my brain frugal and all that money I've been gathering. So I had 10k. So now I had 50k. So like we were this close. We just needed 10k more, and all this is behind the past. So I was really, really happy. Like it felt like the dark clouds that was above my head all these months I've just been trying and feeling, not being able to gather any money, like that finally cleared up. I was happy. I just need 10k. But the thing is, I was still very desperate and scared because, you know, like I said, I needed this money yesterday. So I need this money ASAP right now. At this point, I was sold like most of my useful stuff. I didn't really have anything to sell anymore. But if I just kept saving every money that came my way, and I just kept being frugal and whatever, like within 2 to 3 weeks, I could have been able to raise the 10k. But 2 to 3 weeks, oh no, I cannot wait 2 to 3 weeks. I need that money right here, right now. In fact, I needed that money yesterday. So I needed a faster alternative, right? And this was where everything now took a very dark turn. This was now like what, April, May, June-ish 2024. So around January, February, like my roommates had introduced me to sports betting. He was doing it, so, you know, he showed me like, oh, he puts, you know, 15 naira and it turns to like 10k or whatever. So I kind of got into it, but me and my roommate, after we did that for about a month or two, we kind of stopped because we realized how dumb it was. I think we realized we had spent more money than we actually made. So during that phase anyway, my IT place, one of my like co-workers, he gave me like one Telegram group where they used to drop like odds. So basically like codes, like when you dial this code, like betting code, so when you dial it and you put your money and all that, high chance like the game will enter, the game will work. So, and I thought to myself that I already have 50k, I just need 10k. Like I just need to get 0. Like maybe 1.5 odds. I don't even need 2 odds. So in the betting world, the higher the odds, the more money you make, but the less likely like the thing is going to work. 1 odd is like anything, any money you put times 1. So let's assume I put 15 naira, so that's still going to be 15 naira now. 2 odds now is now going to be double that, right? So 15 naira times 2 now going to be 100. So and so on and so forth. So the higher the odds, the more money you make, which sounds good, but the disadvantage is the higher the odds as well, the less likely it is for the game to actually work. Like there's a higher chance you're going to lose because the odds are higher anyway. So but the lower the odds, the less money you're going to make, but higher chance the thing is actually going to work. 50 times maybe 1 is still 50, but 50 times, let's say 50 times 1.5 is 75. Basically, that was like my plan. If I can just get something like 1.5 watts or even 1.2, like basically I'm good. Like that's all I need, right? I now monitor the Telegram group also. And I noticed that out of every 10 games they drop there, about 6 of them enter. So 4 of them, lose and you lose your money, but about 6 of them will just work out. So I was like, okay, they have a 60 to 40% ratio, so the high chance I could just make. I just need just one odd, just one good game, and that's it. And all this is in the past. So I was really, really desperate. I was really certain, I have to make this work. But I was still very scared because, we're talking of betting here, we're talking of gambling here, like you could lose all your money just like this. Very, very first game I partaked in the Telegram group. The game was to start like 5 p.m. in the evening, so this was still like maybe 9 a.m. in the morning. So I just took the full 50k, put it in the game. But and I got scared, like how would I do such? That's pretty dumb if the game goes south and I've lost everything. So I said, okay, you know what? Just to test, I'm just going to put 1k. Just 1k. After I put 1k, if the game goes well, then we'll play more. So I now put the 1k in that game. The next day I now checked, that 1k actually turned to 4,000. Like if I left that 50k, I just left it like that, I would have woken up the next day to 200k in my account. When I saw this, I was like, there's no going back. So I went all in for still. So, but I was still a little bit scared and I didn't want to put everything at once. Because once the game starts, obviously it's like uncertain. We don't really know if it will work or if it's not work out. Due to like calculations and common sense, we assume it would and all that. But at the end of the day, even with as little odds as possible, we could still lose. Before the game reaches like maybe the final, let's say 20 minutes or 15 minutes or something like that, they will allow you to be able to cash out your money. But the thing is that the money you'll be able to take out will be significantly less than the one you actually put in. So I think I put in 15k each, and I was now able to take out like 8 or 7k, something like that. But I quickly took it out because the game looked like it was going to, like they were going to lose. The bet was not going to work out, and that was exactly what happened. So I lost. So I think I lost like 5 or 10k from that very one game. So from 50, I was now down to like 40 something. So I did the same thing again, and I played another game like that, same experience. The thing went down from like 50. I was now at like, I think still 30 something. So and I played another game again. Same thing still occurred. It was first looking like it was going well, and after a while it started to look like the whole thing was going south. So quickly ASAP had taken all the money out. So at this point now I now had 30k. So I was not really sad and scared, like, oh my god, from 50 I literally lost 20k in like 2 days or something. Like it took me forever to get out of this 50k and I literally lost 20k, just like almost half the money. So I was like, I need to make this money back, like I need to at least get this money back. So it seems that these games that this guy would drop, the 2 that I played that I lost previously, one plus the one that I played just now that was looking like it was going to lose. Usually they lose because like what the guy predicted does not usually happen. It's the opposite thing that will happen. So maybe for example the guy will say like they'll score 1 more goal before the end of the game and they will end up scoring no goal, so the bet will end or something like that. So I now thought to myself that, okay, since that's what is most likely going to happen, let me just like make the bet go that way, right? So I went to the distance. It seems that I don't really watch football matches. I don't really know much about sports. I'm not really a sports guy. It's just like whatever the guy tells me to do on the Telegram group, that's exactly what I just do. But for this particular reason, because I was desperate, because I was like, I need to make this work, it seemed tampered with it. So I can't remember what the bet was about, but let's just assume it was like, oh, they won't score a goal before the end of this game. The thing also is like that 30k was not even going to turn to like 100 or 50. It was going to turn back to 45, like if my own prediction actually worked out. And 45 wasn't still lower than 50, but I was just like, oh, I really need the money back, so at least 45 I'll manage it, whatever. At first they will give you opportunities to cash out, but then that opportunity left, so now I couldn't cash out anymore. There was no going back. But I was pretty confident. Like, the last 2 games the guy predicted, it always didn't really work out. This one probably is not going to work out. The game was already going south. So I was waiting. Few minutes to the end of the game, they scored. They fucking scored. Like, they literally scored a goal. Oh my god, my heart started to race. It means what the guy predicted actually now worked out. And what I now went to go and tamper and do the opposite did not now work out. I was fucked. I was cooked, bro. Like, I started to really panic. Oh my god, what do I do? Like, there has to be a way I can do. I went back to like the dashboard and all that. The game had ended. Checked my money. 0. From being at the top of having good money like 50k, feeling so happy that I'd worked hard for this. I was lucky God had finally smiled on me. I'd used my dumb ads to scatter it off, and now I was back to zero. The annoying part is if I just left the game that the guy won't did, that one I was playing for, I just left it alone, didn't think out anything, even though it looked like it was going, so I just left it. I would have still made the 50, I think I would have made the 60 or 70k back from it. But now I ended up making nothing. And at that particular moment, I didn't even know what to feel. I was so sad, so scared, so angry. So many things raced through my mind at once that I just felt like it was over for me. It was over for me, like I was done. There was nothing, there was no other trick up my sleeve, there was nothing else I could pull off. I had fucked up big time. I won't lie to you, man. I swear to God, I genuinely really hate the world. The whole game is rigged. It's all backwards, and that shit really pisses me off. There's no respect, there's none at all. There's no fresh air, it's all be soft. There's no warm fire, it's all be soft. There's no fair game, it's all be false. When I was growing up as a kid, I was taught you did not pick or take what does not belong to you. It's stealing, it's offensive, it's wrong. You must treat your elders like your dad and mom. Not debate anything with them, they know we do. When you're being scolded, do not save yourself or talk, because you are still inexperienced and young. Do not fight, retaliate, or say any hard words. So one tax report and pray to God. Just be a nice guy, obedient, a good boy. Help everyone in need, and the world will reward you for being good. So your life will be solved. Sure, you are the best in school. Oh yes, of course. Study all the classes, subjects, and every course. Do this, your future can never be done. You will have the best life out of everyone. Yet, why is it the other way around? The people that scam get all of the bag, and your elders most times like you are just as lost, and quite often their perspective is just as flawed. If you do not fight back, then the bullying would stop. If you do not speak out, you are still on the floor. If you ironize them, then the ladies will run. People that fail school, they become missing jobs. I won't lie to you, man. I swear to God, I genuinely really hate the world. The whole game is rigged. It's all backwards, and that shit really pisses me off. There's no respect, there's none at all. There's no fresh air, it's all be soft. There's no warm fire, it's all be slow. There's no fair game, it's all be fucked. If you're watching this video, it happened, didn't it? That terrible thing you have been praying never comes. That terrible thing you have been praying never happens. Finally did, didn't it? Maybe it must be your girlfriend left you, or you got fired from your place of work, or in school you failed the courses, or you failed the class, whatever, or the business you tried to do just didn't work out and it failed and you lost a bunch of money. Or even more dark and sad, maybe you lost a loved one, maybe your parents recently passed away, or a brother, or a friend, or a sibling, or a grandparent, or a relative. And if you're watching this video, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for the terrible things life has presented to you. I'm sorry for the terrible things life has handed over to you. And it's one thing that really pisses me off, honestly. Maybe you couldn't tell from the song I just, that you just listened to, but I just wonder, like, why is life so unfair? Why is life so brutal? Like, you could literally do everything right and still get none of the results. Like, you could do everything right and like the outcome you want just would not happen. Right? You see people working themselves to the bone. You see people working themselves to, like, they work themselves to death, and yet they only just end up making pennies, only end up making measly money to just get by. Never enough. While you see other people that don't even, like, I won't say they don't necessarily work hard, but they don't do 10% of the work these people do, and they make like 1 billion times more money than these guys ever will in their lifetime. Why is it like that? Why is it that if you're kind, you'd think, oh, life is just going to be good, and good things are going to keep happening to me because I'm a kind person, I'm a good guy, right? Why is it that it's the other way around? If you're a kind person, people always said want to take advantage of you. If you're a kind person, people always said want to walk all over you. If you like to do the right things and prioritize being right and being good and all that, you would think, oh, good things are always going to happen to me. But that could not be further from the truth. We see it a lot of times. The good people is the bad things that happen to them to us. You see the kindest woman in the world, so nice, so generous, so giving, she ends up getting cancer. Why? There's one thing me and my roommates used to joke a lot about when I was still in school before I graduated and all that. And it was like, maybe for example, some girl is dating some guy, right? And she cheats on him, and maybe she's a terrible person, she cheats on him, she breaks his heart, blah blah blah, she leaves him and go. In the movies, they will paint it in a way that, maybe 5 years later, 10 years later, the guy will now be super successful and his life is going very, very good, while the girl will be down in the bottom and her life just keeps getting worse, and she will now see him and be like, oh, forgive me for the wrong I did or whatever. But unfortunately, in real life, 5 years later, 10 years later, that same girl that cheated on you, that same girl that broke you, that same girl that did terrible things to you, your life is just going to be 10 times better than that guy. And that guy is just going to be just as poor, just as sad, just as miserable, just as broken, if not even worse. Like, life is just not fair, and it's one thing that really pisses me off a lot. It's like, a lot of things that are just not deserved, they happen. Like, you would think the person that goes to church the most, the person that prays to God the most, the person that, reads his Bible the most, and all these type of things is the one that, basically will live the longest, highest quality, best life, right? Why is it that people that do all that, they still end up dying? They still end up dying young, they still end up being poor, they still end up being miserable. It seems that we have to be real with ourselves. One thing I like to do after I, sit down to complain to myself, so I rant to myself like this, is like, you have to just be real. As much as it's true and it's unfair, like, that's just life, that's just the game. So one thing they used to say a lot is that you can either hate the game or you can learn how to win the game. And hating the game is basically just hating life, just like I've been complaining, like, life is unfair, life is not, like, it's not fair, it's not supposed to be like this, blah blah blah. And it's true, because you're absolutely right, it's not supposed to be like this, but at the end of the day, nothing's going to happen. You're still going to be miserable, you're still going to be sad, you're still not going to get to where you want to be. Or you can learn how to play the game and think, okay, life is unfair, but what can I do to make it happen to, like, for me? Like, what can I do to make things be in my advantage? Rather than see myself as the victim of life, how can I use all these unfair things life presents to my own advantage and make life work for me rather than work against me? Because at the end of the day, these challenges make us stronger. At the end of the day, these challenges make us grow tougher. And if something terrible happened to you, if life happened to you, you can take a moment to grieve, you can take a moment to be pissed off, you can take a moment to be offended, because generally it's just not fair. But at the end of the day, you have to pick yourself back up. At the end of the day, you have to rise from your slump. At the end of the day, you have to move on and try again and do things much, much better. June 27, 2024. My grandfather passed away. I still remember that day vividly. At first in the morning, he was laying on his bed, then he was finding it difficult to breathe. He was breathing heavy, and we thought it was just another one of those days, because obviously he's an old man, right? Like, he had this very stubborn cough that just would never go away, and breathing and all those type of stuff. But usually, even when episodes or phases like that come, he will always end up being fine. When stuff like that happens, my mom carries him to the hospital for checkup. The doctor do their thing, they treat him up, and it's fine, all is well. They come back home. But this particular day, they didn't come back home. And I remember it was at night, around like 8 p.m. or something like that. And I called my mom, because I didn't send them for a while. They left like since in the morning. So I rang my mom up and I was like, hey, what's going on? What's the updates? And my mom told me my grandfather traveled. At first, I didn't get what she meant by travel. Like, what do you mean he traveled? Like, you guys were literally just... But it was then it hit me that he actually passed away. I remember I sat outside and just looked to the sky and felt a lot of things. A lot of things came up over me. I was scared, I was sad, I was angry, I was confused. It just didn't feel real. Like, you're trying to tell me grandpa is dead. Like, someone we literally saw this morning, someone saw yesterday, and the day before, and the day before, and last week, and last month, and the last 21 years I've been alive right now. Or 20 years at the time. It's just gone. It's just traveled. It's just dead. So something that I couldn't accept. It was like a new perspective I found very difficult to believe. But looking back to that time now, everybody has grieved and moved on from the moment. I am actually glad it happened. Now, don't get what I'm saying wrong. I'm not, happy my grandfather died. I was not plotting his death or anything like that. But my grandfather was 85 when he died, or he was about to turn 85 like a month or two. And when I tell you, like, first of all, the stress this thing put on my mother was a lot, because he was living with us. He was too old to live by himself, so he had to move in with us so we could take care of him. And my mom being like a mother of like 4 children, having a husband, full-time job, business, side hustles, this and that, was the burden of taking care of an old man. And the crazy thing is, like, because of how old he had gotten, his body was literally falling apart at this point. Like, he had so many, like, everything was wrong with his body. Firstly, he was suffering from dementia, so like basically loss of memory, couldn't really remember anything. Like his whole memory stuff was just smooshed and juggled together. Like, sometimes you wake up and just think he's like 30 years old again. Sometimes you wake up and randomly think it was like the time when I was working like seminary or something. Another time I randomly wake up and think I'm like his son, that his first son he gave birth to like 50 years ago or something. Cause like, I don't know, like his whole memory was just mushed up together. He also had partial stroke. I think, like, he didn't have a full stroke. He wasn't able to pass out urine properly. Like, he wasn't able to urinate, so they had to like fix this pipe thing to his body. Like, his whole body was literally just falling apart with age. And the stress it always put on my mom to like take care of him. I'm always being paranoid that something could go wrong, and always swooping in to like carry him to the hospital and this. Like, it was so much stress for everybody. And looking back now, I'm just kind of glad he went to rest. Honestly, like, the harshness of this world, the like wickedness of this world, and also the like inefficiencies and limitations of this our human bodies. Like, I'm glad I was able to leave all that behind and go to a place far better to go and rest. And yes, I'm very sure I went to heaven, because my grandfather was like a pastor and apostle, like very close to God. Before he lost his memory and stuff, like, bro was like, him and God were like this close, which is something I was so stressed to do as well. So it was just like a big relief for my mom. Like, finally my mom could like breathe. And like I said, don't get this wrong, I'm not saying everybody was happy, oh, he's dead, or like we're plotting his death or anything, but I'm kind of glad he moved on. I'm kind of glad he went to the world beyond. Like, I'm kind of glad he was able to put all this sense about this our human world and lay it all to rest, let it all reside in the past. A lot of times life happens, life sucks, something terrible like losing a loved one could happen to you, but I want you to realize that you have to like bounce back up from it. You have to like get your ass up and go again. And a lot of times you also realize that this thing that looks very terrible and all that, they might actually be hidden goodness inside it. There might actually be like a good side to it. There might actually be something amazing about it that, if you look at it from just a different perspective, you would actually kind of be glad it happened, compared to the other perspective where you're like, oh, why did this happen? Why me, whatever. Most times I get so caught up and look at how bad the things have been fucked up that I completely forget you either have a half empty or full cup. I hope you can fluently understand these words. I'm grateful for my parents. They love me so much. Pray for me and don't mind my important payments. I'm grateful for my siblings. If anything happens to them, I'm not sure life will be worth living. I'm grateful for my roommates. They make everything exciting and fun and make me want to see a new day. I'm grateful for my friends and acquaintances. I know I don't have a lot, but I love them all. I'm grateful for my grandparents, uncles, aunts. I'm definitely grateful for the fowls, dogs and cats. Grateful for cousins and the whole family at large. Grateful that every night I have a place to lay down and cack. Grateful for the one and only mighty God, Jesus Christ, and the whole world. Grateful I have this pen and I'm able to write. Grateful for my working eyes that give me sight. Grateful for everything I have, own, like, and most importantly, my life. Much as I love theory and philosophy and whatever, I'm also all about practical as well. So if life happened to you, how can you actually get back on your feet? How can you actually get back on the grind? How can you actually get back to the flow of things? and that is exactly what we are going to cover in this video. To get back on your feet after life happened to you, very first thing is to realize that you have been knocked down. And the thing I want you to realize is life happens to everybody, right? Like whether intentionally or unintentionally, like nobody is perfect, nobody is like half of life. No matter how put together somebody might seem, no matter how much somebody might look like he has his whole shit together, you know, he has the most money or the most ambition in life, looks very stable or whatever. Just realize life happens to everybody, okay? In some way, shape or form. The way life might happen or affect somebody might be different from the way it might happen or affect you. The way it might affect me might be different from the way it affects you. Something that is a problem for me might not necessarily be a problem for you. But at the end of the day, life happens to everybody, okay? Like nobody is perfect, nobody is superior, nobody is above life. Like life happens to everybody. First of all, I just wanted to like realize that you have been knocked down, okay? Like life happened, whether it's something that was in your control or beyond your control, like it happened, so we just have to move on. The next thing I want you to do is to figure out what you actually want, because a lot of times we think we need everything, you know, I want to make the most money, I want to, you know, get jobs, I want to attract girls, or, you know, if you're a girl, I want to attract guys, or like whatever, like basically want everything. But when you take a step back, at least for me, especially when you like detach from like social media and your phone and everything, you start to realize that you don't really want everything. I think it makes sense for you to sit down and ask yourself, like, what do you actually want? Because a lot of us, we don't know what we want. We just have all these vague ideas of, you know, I want to be rich, or I want to be happy. But what does being rich actually mean? What does being happy actually mean? What does all those stuff actually even mean? So you want to actually take the time to figure out what you want out of all these things, because if you don't know exactly what you want, you're just going to move in any random direction, and you might end up chasing things that are not necessarily meaningful to you. You might chase just because, that's what is trending on social media, or just because, you know, your friends are doing this particular thing, all of a sudden you decide to join them, your parents told you to go and study this, so that's what you want to do. Like, you almost kind of lose yourself. So you have to figure out for your own self, like, what do you actually want? What is important to you? So that's the very second step. The third thing after that is to start little by little. Little drops of water make the mighty ocean. Use compound effects. Want everything to happen quickly, want everything to happen fast. But a lot of times, especially when you are like coming from like a rot state, like you've been down in the gutters, you've been down in the trenches, you're starting to climb back out slowly. One of the worst things you can do is try to overwhelm yourself with too many things, like, you know, I want to get back on the grind, so I'm going to start waking up by 3 a.m. Once I wake up, I'll spend the first 2 hours going on a run, and after I finish going on a run, I'll come back and take cold showers, and I'll spend the next 3 hours reading. Then after that, I'll do like 1,000 push-ups. That was before I do my main workout, and I'll go to the gym for like 3 hours. After that, I'll spend 16 hours, so the whole day working on my business or my projects or whatever. After that, I'll go back and study. Then I'll go and work my second job. Then like so many things we'll overwhelm ourselves with. It's like you're going to get to that point eventually, but right here, right now, that you're like in this low state, right here, right now, they are trying to recover from life. You want to take things little by little. And why I like what I wrote here is the compound effects. Little drops of water make a mighty ocean. A lot of things that happen in life, something like Rome, for example. Rome wasn't built in a day. Like a lot of massive structures like that, you see, they don't just build it overnight. They don't build it in 1 day or 1 week. It takes them years, it takes them decades to build mighty structures like that. So you want to take advantage of the compound effects. Can you do 1 push-up today? Yes. Can you study for 5 minutes today? Yes. Can you work on your business or your side project or whatever? Can you do that for 2 minutes today? Yes. Good. Do it today, then do it tomorrow, then next tomorrow, and so on and so forth. Next thing you want to do after that, when you start little by little, is to scale. You don't want to be a beginner forever. Like, you start little by little, but the one problem that a lot of people might end up having is they'll just stay here. Like, they start little by little, you know, they do 2 minutes today, 2 minutes tomorrow. They just stay in 2 minutes forever. Like, you don't want to stay there forever. After you have done 2 minutes for a while, you know, okay, you did 2 minutes today, 2 minutes tomorrow, you have done 2 minutes for like a month or 2 months straight now. Now you want to start to actually increase this thing. They call it progressive overload. For example, like the weights you are used to lifting, let's assume you lift weights and all that. The one you're used to lifting is like, I don't know, 30 kg for example. You're not going to stay at 30 kg forever. Once like 30 kg gets easier to lift, you're going to increase to 35. Then once that one gets a little easier, increase to 40. Then once argument gets a little easier, you increase it to 41.3. Then once it gets a little easier, you increase it to 45. Then so on and so forth. So eventually you're like at a much higher above level than where you initially started. So maybe you used to study for like 5 minutes every day. You slowly increase it to like 6 minutes, then 8 minutes, then 15 minutes. And maybe 6 months later, 1 year later, you're not studying for 3 hours every day, so just 5 minutes. That's significant difference, right? So you don't want to stay at the beginner level forever. You want to scale. And the right one I want to just say is like there's no permanent remedy, there's no permanent solution for life. Like let's just be real. No matter how much you rise up again, no matter how you climb out of your rut or whatever, you're inevitably going to fall back down. Like it's just how it is. Like it's just like the ebbs and flows of life. Like the good thing about bad times is that they don't last forever, and the bad thing about good times also is they don't last forever. So inevitably life is going to happen again. You're going to fall back in the ditch, you're going to fall back in the hole, you're going to feel like shit again. Right? It's something that was within your control that you could have done, but you didn't do it and you fucked up. Or it's something that is outside of your control, and life is unfair and it's happened to you. It's inevitably going to come back again. But what you can't control, what is in your control, is to rise up ASAP. What you can do is not let yourself to stay down for long. Once you go out, life is ebbs and flows, so it's like ups and downs. Once you realize you're back in this down, you don't want to allow yourself stay here for too long. You want to go back, you want to rise up ASAP, because the guy that can go up, bounce back immediately, as fast as possible from life, is the guy that's going to make the most progress compared to the guy that, something terrible happens, life was good and his girlfriend cheated or whatever, and he just stays there for months or years. He's never going to make the progress he could have made compared to this other guy that's, his girlfriend cheated or whatever, maybe he cried about it for a few nights or whatever, and got back, right back up, back to the gym, back to work, back to business, back to school, back to whatever thing he had going on in life. So life is inevitably going to happen. It's just how it is. It's not fair. It's certainly not fair, but this is the game we have been caused to play as human beings, and we're going to keep playing this game till we die, unfortunately. One of the things you can do to make this game worse than it already is make the level harder for yourself. Yes, something shitty happens to you, something bad happens, but you don't want to stay down forever, okay? You want to try your best, pick yourself back up, and rise up again. And after you rise up, you're going up, you're in a high, and that's terrible thing is going to happen, going to come back crashing down. But you want to pick yourself once again, dust yourself up, rise back up again. That's where the real strength is built. That's where the real character is built. The real character is not built by just staying up here, and just life is good. It's when you come down, how fast can you bounce back up? That's where the real growth is developed.
I try not to identify with my past identity. I try to be a better person and up my game socially. I try not to let my emotions get the best of me. I try to make the routines I show up very consistent. I try to be confident and not talk to people awkwardly. I try not to be rude and be nice to the ones annoying me. I try to embrace at times as of pain and smile pleasantly. I try to face my fears and attack things that are scaring me. But I failed like a bitch. Tried to start businesses, then I used my school fees. I bought 2 of courses, then I still wasn't rich. Had to raise the school fees, then I tried doubling it, lost again, sport betting. Then I tried hustling, had no money, had no skills. I eventually fell sick, I was down in the ditch. All I felt was empty, many years of failing, plenty doubts kicking in. Is this shit really for me? I can go on and keep mentioning more and more of things that I've lost in. Every day feels like I'm falling deeper and deeper in the spiral of nothing. It really was not funny. What's wrong? I smile and say nothing. I've been battling myself, I hear murmuring. Tried sharing the pain, they just mock me. So I shut the fuck up, stop feeling sorry for myself. Started studying all these failures, seeing plenty things to learn. Stop scrolling all day, got my laziness out of bed. Go back in the game with small skills and knowledge. Not to say this shit is fun, it's just what has to be done. If you lose, don't try to run, try again, bounce back up. As for me, I'm still on course, in the trenches, in the mud, accumulating failures, just learning more and more. Just try and try again. I know it's easy to say, but it's not easy to stay when all you feeling is pain. But at the end of the day, it's not just if you play, but if you finish the race, it's mold you up like clay.
You see, life happens to everybody, and if it happened to you, I'm sorry. The things that we can't, there are a lot of things we can control, a lot of things that are in our power, but at the same time, there are a lot more things that we can't control, and it's not in our power. And like, we just have to watch it play out. The rest we can do is pray to God and hope for the best. But at the end of the day, if life happens to you, if something terrible went wrong, you know, something that was not planned for, something that you didn't want to happen actually happened, I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, you have to pick yourself back up. At the end of the day, you have to do something about it. At the end of the day, you have to fight back. At the end of the day, you have to bounce back up. At the end of the day, you have to try harder. Because even though it's not fair, and even though it shouldn't be like that, it's just how it is. And if you choose to stay down, if you choose to, you know, cry in your ruts, if you choose to wallow in your pity, it's never going to get better. It won't really get different, and you'll just be just as sad, just as miserable, just as down. But you have to try your very best and try again. You have to try your very best and bounce back up. No matter how bad you are falling, you have to try your best and rise back to the occasion. By the way, if you're in a rut now and you're finding it difficult to get back on your feet and get back in the grind and get back to the flow of things, I've actually created a program that is going to help you do just that. If you're interested in that, if this is a problem you're facing and you actually need a solution, just click the first link in the description of this video.